As they've done that now, let's see how this one will play out. Now, bans of course first. Big question will be, how will these play out? Are we going to see any counter bans coming in? The Thatcher again to be removed first on a map where, of course, Heartbreach does play a role. Not the biggest amount of roles, but it's definitely prevalent in some of these sites. Think of the piano wall, think of the bakery wall or the freezer, depending on where you want to go for. So Nomad comes in. That is a call from HellRaisers. They themselves played a bit of Nomad in the previous game, so this might actually hint on their playstyle for this matchup.
I guess it's one of those lead-ins of what are we going to see from them in terms of removing it from the players. You said Nomad today you would associate with HellRaisers themselves. This is a map where they might want to see if they can swing into some aggression. They might want to try and play the guessing game that's otherwise kept them on the edge of their seats, because it's all or nothing now. It's all that they can play ahead of themselves. They have to bring that A game. They have to bring that game at the front that was so stellar, that was so phenomenal. And to be fair to Secret, their game has stepped up massively, but those opening two maps was sort of plagued by a lot of their mistakes.
True. They've grown in the series, as we call it. Definitely got more effective as we went on. And as Snowbrawl, Buck will be making his appearance here on Rush. I like that skin. It's unfortunate we don't see it.
I
don't know, he looks like a small toy soldier or something.
I know I'm massively biased. I love Osa as a reindeer.
Okay, yeah. I love Thorn as well.
Thorn as a cat.
Yeah.
Insta-locked every time.
Exactly.
Every single time insta-locked.
I like the Vigil one, actually. And the uniform goes quite well with the headgear of the Elite, by the way.
Well, there you go. And now you can mix and match your
Elite. You can mix them.
Inside Rainbow Six. They're cool. I love seeing the player cards as an extension. Obviously, if you're new to this whole idea, first of all, thank you for watching. Second of all, they cannot use anything but a very short list of skins, namely the ones from the pilot program.
R6 share.
And the R6 share. Is pilot program the right words?
It used to be pilot program, but it's now all renamed as R6 share.
Yeah.
So it's R6 share and the default uniforms, I believe it is. I think that's it as well. There might be. No, I think that's it. I think it's indeed R6 share, maybe pilot program if you want to still call it like that. The old skins, you know, the good old gold and white uniforms, the style they're going back to for the regional sets. There's a bit of time wasted there. The camera does still get tossed out, and I feel like Amision is not truly aware. He gets spotted out, and this might lead to a potential run out from that door. But no, Amision finds the cam, well aware of what was happening, and will secure. Oh, that is going to be Rush securing the kill into Comfy here. A good start for HellRaisers.
It was well played, because the idea in the lean-in was, well, we know that this camera's here, and that camera leads to this window having a bit of pressure, spray through. They found the fight. And there was a stacked up second body there, but at that point, that's just a read and a play.
Yeah.
And that is perfect prep. That is everything coming together. It gives them the opening kill. It gives them the kill on Comfy, who was causing so many problems on the map before. He was a big step-up player for them onto Villa, and him not being able to bite at the ankles on this approach is going to be a big cost and loss. Amision, with a quick hot drop drone there, is able to take care of a lot of the utility that's buried in behind that Aruni gate, but there's still more to go through, and there's still more to go down. As Packball secures a little bit more of the stretch here. It's an isolated position that Mozzie's playing in on these windows, and very soon he's going to find himself under a bout of pressure. The grenade goes deep, and
oh, what a play.
Yeah, absolutely dropped off there. Sleben caught.
Not the best start here for Secret yet, but the main man Keenan still alive. We've seen him clutch so many rounds, play so many important parts in the attack, and as he just cleared out one complete side of the building by going for a quick run out, it's a serial laser gate that gets activated just to get deactivated again with a flashbang and a grenade to follow up, and Kenry somehow lives while wings are coming through to the little cigar cabinet. Packball, however, will respond and find a very important kill. Goes for a second, but instead gets dropped himself.
Knew he would be there, but just didn't quite have the stretch. Now it is just Kendrew locked in, and they're well aware of his pressure. And Exodus locks it off. A big opener there for HellRaisers, a pace that we haven't seen from them for a while. And to be fair, most of their kills happened outside the building. They didn't need to step in.
Yep. From the roof, from the outside, waiting for Team Secret to go a bit aggressive there. And on that final kill, when they finally had to enter the building, they saw the serial laser gate was deactivated, which means a player is close. really limits it to just 2 angles. Yellow Pinks came in, drops came in as well, just to make sure that everybody would strike at the very same time. And HellRaisers find that first round. Need to find a bunch more though. They were the ones to be 2-0 in front in maps, then slipped on Oregon and weren't able to, well, re-pick themselves up in Villa. It was Secret that managed to bring it back to 2-2 in maps, and that now means that a reverse sweep is in progress. However, HellRaisers still have this opportunity to stop it from happening here on Kafe, the Russian map, as Milos said it. Will that be a buff? Not quite sure. Maybe in your minds, try and get every single advantage you can get right now just to feel confident going into these final 15 rounds. Potential, with an asterisk. One already played. In favor of HellRaisers. Now they need to find 6 more, and they are in the European League. Team Secret, in the meantime, they're trying, of course, themselves as well to let the reverse sweep come through.
Well, it's only the second time HellRaisers have been able to get that opening round, that opening swing into their favor. The first was on the second map, where they were able to build it into their 2-0 lead. So it's something that they can sort of build behind. It was a great bout of momentum. They seemingly have become a little bit more aware of the tricks played by Secret, and Secret aren't going to get that clean sweep on the defenses that they flaunted. 2 ticks, 2 boxes, 2 possibilities of growth as they find themselves now stretching and stressing for a little bit more. All the way to the top. So they're going to see if they can try and take a handle. It's a rainfall map. You start at the top and you slowly drip-drop your way down whilst trying to pause, push, and limit the play.
I like what Rush did there. The last time around, I tossed the C4 up. This time, he opened up with a skeleton key, but it didn't instantly swap back. You might be wondering why, but that's because it's buckshot. It will go through, and actually, you don't need to accurately hit the C4 because one of those shots will maybe hit it. So he's waiting for it potentially to come up. Didn't come up, swap back, and that's a grenade from below. That will lock off the kill to Packball. That is yet again an advantage here from HellRaisers. One of the 2 members that is not playing on the top floor removed. It's also decided in the meantime on that first floor, so that is definitely going to be very helpful.
We're yet again into that really good information drive game here, and as they're pre-firing and putting pressure down, obviously Packball is a bit of a loss here as a player that's often been able to step into moments that start to filter away from them. Kendrew, a little bit locked in, is handed a bit of a freebie there, and I talk about the great drone, Graham, and there's a massive bout of punishment that comes through. Slipped down onto pillars off the top, and suddenly there's a couple of HellRaiser players that are trying to re-enter and get a bit of revenge and recoup some of the losses, but otherwise he's already out of there.
Not quite sure if that was with help of the mute jammers, of course, stopping the information to flow through, or just a small mistake, an oversight made by the players of HellRaisers. It's the head being spotted and Slevin to fall back as he isn't going to be able to quite take it off cleanly. With these 70 seconds left in this round, it is HellRaisers that need to push the side. They do not longer have the man advantage here, as they want to open up the hatch. They want to open up every single thing up on that top floor, just to make sure they don't need to worry about it anymore, and that will allow them to start opening up vertically.
Now you assume that Gomfi still has a C4 in pocket as well, something to play on a little bit later as they're just trying to piece together some of the intel on the approach. Tucked in to a close corner, waiting for potentially a drop onto pillars and see if they can swing round. It's dangerous, it's soft, and soft is very often punished by pings, but Keenan fights back, finds Rush somehow. A mission gets instant revenge. You really expected it to be clean though, and there it is, another bite back from another Secret player, able to just cause a little bit more disruption in the final 20 seconds. The approach and the drone, does it go wide enough? No, is the answer, and Kendrew has to play his hand perfectly here. He's gonna see if he can swing round, but he's waiting for the moment, the hot drop to come through just at the right time, and it seems to be focused more over to train side and sprayed through the wall. Smash suffers as well. Gomfi gets the lockdown, going wide for the swing. There's the Malusi. Hello, you missed me out, and picking up the diffuser. It's a Secret round, back and forth. We're back there.
See if we continue trading, however, or if it was a one-off from HellRaisers or Secret where they won that round in this matchup so far. Of course, only the first half. HellRaisers in the first 2 maps of the day were better on their attack than they were on the defense. The second 2 maps, they weren't quite able to get the same mark down onto the round as they managed to get beforehand. Come back to the second floor now. Reading room and fireplace will be chosen to go to. Not back up to the top floor completely. And that means that it is possibly a different site than it would have been expected by the side of HellRaisers as they attack. They might expect them to go down to either the bakery or all the way to the top floor, but it's going to be the library instead. A site that hasn't been shown yet in the previous round. Of course, the dining is part of the site, as the engine room is the other one, or the mining room. Depends on how you want to call it. With the prep phase underway. HellRaisers, how much do you have left? Because you started off so strong in this series, and now in map number 5, everything is on the line. Everything you have practiced for in these past couple of years. They played Challenger League last season under a different name. They have changed names quite often, but never gotten this close as they currently are. And you want to lock that off. You do not want to lose that opportunity.
So, a bit of an opener there for HellRaisers that unfortunately for them didn't quite amount to the connection with the ground that they wanted it to. But it's growth. It's this, as I said, potential, and they are a lot of that bottled right now, and it's built on the back of a drone game. We saw the pick, the Mozzie away to the Jaeger. They're instead going to try and play against the grenades and hope they can put a little bit more of a pressure onto the catch of them. It's 6 in the pockets. You assume the Oyana has brought them as well, and it's just that huge explosive game that they're more than happy to play and move around in, which, to be fair, is built off the back of an explosives game. Hey, talking of, there's one down, there's one back up, and there's now Smash, who's thinking about toying with the pressure up, but he's been able to get himself into Zulu, well, close to, with no one else really noticing.
If he manages to sneak in here onto the train's room, that could be absolutely detrimental for the side of Secret. Of course, we've seen it before. The HellRaisers member right next up to the side, having the opportunity to take out 1 or 2 as they rotate back in, but unfortunately failed to do so. It's now grenades being tossed out, but not being able to be guided accurately towards their receiver. It's Kendrew on the top of Piano. Pressure coming down from the windows, pressure coming down from the hatches, and as Packbull picks up Smash yet again, the player that manages to sneak in that far gets picked up first.
The amount of times Packbull has been the player to catch the player that's crouch walked their way onto site as well. I mean, it's happened 3 times, but it's strange that it's a coincidence that keeps lining up, and I guess it's a very thankful backline that they've been able to build behind the shield on the top corner. Is going to be a bit of a problem here onto 90. The flashes to burn an ADS, the pre-fire hoping they catch the guy with the grenade over the top, but it's the swing that comes through, and he's fallen back to the second shield. Hey, remember how this used to be the hold that happened every single time you fall back from shield to shield to shield? To be fair, this is something that the Russian team is going to be familiar with because the big proponents of that were Virtus.pro, and here Exodus is more than ready to catch the player on the slip away, dropped, downed, and taken out as we see them repositioning to rehold the back of White.
Yeah, well played by them there. Exodus able to sneak up quite far, basically catching them off guard here, but there's still going to be 2 members of Secret up onto that top floor, and those are the members they need to take care of next. 40 seconds still on that clock. No verticality done so far. They need to hurry up, otherwise Secret is going to be able to run away with it. They're right next to Kendrew here. He's playing a patient game right here. Gets the first, now goes to the second, and the Nitro will be able to find the third. It's only a 1-on-4 situation as Exodus is the last man standing. He's hoping to go for some kills, but there's no way he will be able to steal this round away from the side of Secret, who are taking the lead yet once again.
I cannot believe the man is able to pull off a knife in this intensity game. Exodus bites back 10 seconds, and he's been able to reclaim the diffuser, hops down, got to push the site itself. That wall is locked off. It's a very long road via 2 cameras, all 2. A swing on a pre-fire, but the positioning and the bravery and the bolstered way of Kendrew, that is a man who has experienced the top stages and the top pressures of this game and has been shaped by it to be able to pull off those moves on the best of 5 finale that only dictates the next year of your life.
Only dictates that, indeed. Managing to secure that round. Of course, the timing was already low. HellRaisers did not get the full droning game in. They weren't quite able to get every single piece of information. But Kendrew able to pick up a double kill there and a C4 to come in for a third, all in the matter of 2 seconds. Is definitely what shakes HellRaisers up in that case. And now we're heading back to that top floor. Finally, HellRaisers are going to be able to have a go at the attack there again. And this one was successful. But as you managed to say beforehand, it wasn't on the back of them entering the build. It was on the back of playing on aggressive Secret players that they managed to pick up 1 by 1. Managed to punish. That's that triple kill that came through. 2 from Kendrew, 1 from the C4 that came in from below. perfect call, perfect use of their utility and communications there. Now they have that 1 round buffer. They want more. They want to go for a 4-2 split, maybe even 5-1 on the side of Secret. That is when they will be happy with their health, and that is when they will feel confident going into that very final half of this series, of today, where they can try and defend their spot in the European League against HellRaisers, who played a phenomenal first 2 maps, then kind of started to struggle.
Secret, they've threaded 2 in a row. They've put themselves a little bit further ahead here, but it is still tit for tat. And as I said, HellRaisers, they've definitely woken up a little bit more onto this map. The cameras are in a position to see if they can strike once again. They're going with this width that the Valkyrie offers, and you expect to see it offered quite a lot on the HellRaisers side as well. Nobody quite able to catch that swing up, but look at this attention to detail. We've seen players get very bold on this map before, and they might be waiting just to see if they can catch a C4 onto the edge of the window. It's a very well-placed cam and gives you a very wide bout of information. There's the C4, there's the upside down rappel. They want them to just be close enough, but it's dangerous. It's a tricky dance to sort of pull together at this moment, and you can see HellRaisers again, well versed in it.
For sure, well versed. Again, the information coming out. Sleben just waiting for a rappel in. The upside down now being called, and he also knows it could be going to the roof at any given time. Sleben going aggressive, sees him coming by. That's a grenade being pulled. That surely should be called out. That comes quite close to him. Doesn't quite get the kill. Still stays patient here. Exodus not really wanting to swing in because he knows one could be right there next to him.
That's it. The second grenade is going to go around, and this one's probably going to be a little bit more dangerous. As doesn't quite get the bounce that they want, actually, and there it is, right over the top, and there's the repositioning, and there's the revenge. Sleben went for the Goomer stop the first time round, and this time finds a sweeter story. Packpull, massively injured, is going to drop off and hop off and find potentially a rotation and a bit of safety elsewhere, but you can still see this intel's coming from Comfy. They know what more is there! And there's a duo that was once in NAL, but he is lighting up, and maybe at the most crucial time of mission, though. He's battling back, he's swinging in, and Sleben for a third on the round. He's waiting for these drones, and he's sort of saying, listen, I'm defending this corner for all I'm worth, and what am I worth? One more at least, and one more at least! The ace for Sleben!
All from this singular spot right next to the piano. He hasn't moved out of it. He hasn't moved, well, jumped over it or anything. Got grenades tossed at him, drones thrown at him. But it didn't matter at all. He managed to get all the kills just from that same position. And that will hurt HellRaisers a lot. Team Secret 1-3 up. And this is when they can start making their mark on this game. This is when they can start making their mark on this map. And make sure that they're walking away with it. Make sure that they are walking with their heads high into EUL 2022.
Now, for the first time today, echoing around probably the heads of everyone in the studio, is not Christmas music, but is a certain song.
What's the song?
Of a superpower player.
Oh, Panari. The great writer. The artist.
He's the Mozart of the Siege community.
He definitely is.
Ah.
I wish we could play that right now during this. Someone will edit this with Panari.
Oh, you know.
With Sleben, the superpower player. Please do, and tag us. I want to witness it.
Okay, Sleben hits the ace, his first 5 kills in the game, but what a way to thread them together, and what a build on the information game there. That one camera operated by Gomfi, didn't have to leave it, kicked the feet up, kept the info hot, played it all over, and there was a bit of a dabble of an idea of what they wanted to do. You could see Sleben was positioning himself, ready to potentially jump out, ready for the C4. He wasn't comfortable, because you never are in that situation. They can't quite get you, but they know where you are, and they know you're close, and grenades don't have to be super precise, especially when you have 6 in your pocket.
The thing is as well, right? You cannot move away because then they'll swing you because they hear it. If you stay, they're going to try and grenade you, and you have to hope that you survive because they misthrow them. Now this is... Oh, no way! Packball just executes Exodus through the wall here, and that is definitely another hit in the face and in the camp of HellRaisers. It's Secret that is slowly starting to walk away with this game, and again, they open up strong. And now they need to make sure that they carry on this momentum in this round and lock it off with a 4-1 for now.
Mission over the top. It's going to see if they can take care of some of that utility but it's starting to look a little bit dicey here for HellRaisers on these approaches. Okay, we're still very early on into the showdown, but this is exactly the sort of game that Secret worked out. They needed to close down, and, well, there's one more player closed off. Sleben, found by Smash as Rush suffers quite a lot, but there is obviously still the Finker to start to pick them back up. Here across the top, they're going to slow and steady themselves all the way over and see if they can try and pull this back to an even half. It is still all potentially to plan. Backball's underneath. They have a bit of a back line, and Secret isn't overextending. They're making sure that they can catch them on the fight that starts to come through, but with a minute 30, well, and after what they suffered last time across the top here, HellRaisers isn't rushing.
They're definitely not. They're trying to make sure that the top 4 is truly under their control, and as some have fallen. That's an interesting overlay there. That's it's a new one. As Rush is going to be able to put up some pressure using the DMR here to try and deal true damage onto Packbull. Has successfully done so as well. He's down onto 5 HP, waiting for these RCs to come around the corner, but as he has been misdroned, it doesn't seem like they're aware. Yes, they take care of the utility. That is going to be fine. As long as he's still in that position, as long as he's safe out there, it's Kendrew that wanted to go aggressive right here, but has been heard by Rush.
He was playing with an idea there, Kendrew. He wanted to see if he could swing up and put a bit of pressure, but the red indicator made things a little bit trickier. Well, there's a very tricky situation. Packbull barely had the life to survive it, even if it was close, let alone instantly on him. Mission is in a fight up top, but it's Smash that's able to actually offer some of a buffer and a bout back against them. Rush is going to see if he can push his way down the red stairs. They've been able to pull some control over pillars and the pressure onto the site itself. Kendrew, he's got to try and find a way into this fight right now, and it's not proving easy, but 20 seconds and one body less with Packbull so close to making it 2. It's just a matter of seeing if they can try and stop one of these connections. The diffuser's still above. As a players, watching any rotation that Kendrew wants to take, but there's only so long that you can hold those until you fight your way onto site. Packbull with the first, and you got to look for Flarezo, who's going to try and dig it in on that far corner. Kendrew, he's finally been able to find his way up to the top, and Packbull with one more, but it's a post plant now. Rush has a bit of a cover here on the swing. They're going to take it slow and steady, and just looks away at the worst possible time, but repositions because he isn't caught, thankfully. Now it's a 1 versus 2. Rush, he's going to see if he can be of a back line here. They don't really have too much in their pockets, but they're going to see if they can keep the lockdown on the swing. It's a scrappy fight. It goes their way, and Secret have another.
That is going to be 4-1. They managed to successfully capitalize on the early kill they managed to get. And yes, the diffuser did go down. Yes, it could have been around.
Is that combination of history and pace and talent and performance and that little bit of balance that has brought them to this point. 4. Now, can they find a second HellRaisers before they go on to the turn of the half? Again, we're still so far from over, and they are a team that can explode. It's just unfortunately trying to get a handle on a Secret that has seemingly found out what the secret is in their opponents.
Secret, as we mentioned, growing into the game as HellRaisers is walking on their last legs right now. All Secret has to do is just finish it up now. Make sure the pressure really comes up to the side of the HellRaisers and lock it off. It's not just Keenan anymore that shows up. It's Sleben that got an ace. It's only 5 kills of the whole match so far, it seems like, but they're really showing up big time here. Every single one of the members of Secret is doing important stuff. May it be the calls by the cameras, or may it be the ace that you just saw. And HellRaisers, they find entries, they find their ways in, they manage to get the plants down, but they're not able to work on that. They're not able to lock it off in the end. And even when they have that man advantage, it doesn't necessarily translate into a round.
Exodus is, for me, a big drive of that. The frequency that he, as a player, has been able to get in and find a fight and put some aggression all day. He has been so consistent in terms of just putting in that work, and I think that's the bit of a loss right now as HellRaisers. They haven't quite had anyone that's been able to step in with that consistency. They've all had moments. They've all had these sort of catches and showstops, but nothing has otherwise threaded itself in the same manner. He was thinking about the Nitro, but he's holding on to it just for now, and that's it, and that's Kendrew. He's going to see if maybe he can reposition one of the drones he stole before it got destroyed. Unfortunately not for his sake. And as the Twitch drone drops in and tries to get a little bit of the read, the C4 does not quite catch the side of the flavor that they wanted. Rush is on the top of red, going for the slow creep towards the player onto 90 and onto Pixel. The burn of the flashes over the top. Sleben's learned a lesson. I can't survive in bathroom. I'm not going to survive anywhere. I'm going back to lumber and rebuilding.
This time also no ADSs on that Pixel shield, so they basically just gave it away to them. It's just to waste some utility as Kenru gets the very first kill. Smash to fall. That's an important one. As a Finka gone again, his grenades and as well the potential to heal and revive on distance that is suddenly lost in the hands of HellRaisers. They have a difficult task here to still win this round, but it's not going to be impossible. They've brought it close so many times, and yet we're going to be asking them to do it yet once more.
There's a couple of prepped C4s ready to go. There's obviously still a bit of an extension, but HellRaisers have finally found their way into Cigar and across the top. Now, as they're going to see if they can push this backline. Packball pops a little bit too early, but it gives a bit of food for thought on the angle. You can see them retaking White as well. They went off for this stretch and this extension towards the players that are otherwise around there, but they have the hatches, they have the drop, and they don't want to be there too long. And Mission is there just the right amount of time with a perfect follow-up by Exodus. The fire keeps them from the laundry hatch just for now, but that response, that double kill, is going to be that big cost that might come back a little bit later. Flashes over the top. Gomfi is well away. He's caught and he's able to find a scrappy fight against Rush before dropping potentially all the way down.
Just waiting, just trying to go and find out where the remaining HellRaisers members are going to be coming from. If they do decide to go for a default plant, you want to retake that top floor control. And as Flarezo drops with that diffuser, surely that has been heard. He drops it for now. He doesn't want to die with it if he tries to go for frags on a different position here. And his Packball is still looking for any of these verticals. It's going to be Slevin in a position where he can try and flank around to the pillar side if he feels lucky.
Flarezo is offering everything he can in terms of support. They can't hand over verticality. That's the most important place for them right now, and that's Emission's lockdown here for the fight that might happen with Gomfi. Slev, there it is. Backpull on the swing, gets a very important one. Emission gets one back. He's got to drop and take the fight. He's now the cover for Flarezo, but Gomfi's above you. Gomfi's going to see if he can get this swing. He can't connect it. He can't connect the next Emission. Finds the second, keeps HellRaisers just a little bit more alive. And that is an energy they desperately needed before the turn of the half.
That is something they do need indeed. And I think that the drop from the top to the bottom is what gave it away there in the end. As Sleben, you know, he was rotating already at the very long time before that. Not been spotted out, but as soon as that drop happened is when that swap around came. Otherwise, they might have been able to drop that diffuser. Either way, 2-on-4. HellRaisers, they find their second round. They're starting to slow the bleeding, but the question is it enough? Is Secret going to be able to run away with it here on the attack right now, or is HellRaisers going to be able to pull up 4 rounds on that defense in the next 6 and either force it to OT or lock it off beforehand?
This is when, for me, the Nomad ban might start to become a little bit more apparent. Obviously, the smoke was a removal, and to be fair, in the hands of Flarezo, it's played very well. But this game, unfortunately, the most important one, Flarezo hasn't quite been able to find the connection that he's had on those big clutch moments towards the end. So the smoke removal might not be as big of an impact as it potentially was with the plays he was able to do in the earlier maps. It's that Nomad. It's that chance at moving and manipulating around on the map. We saw in some instances Secret were very good at it, and in some instances they are entirely locked down. HellRaisers are prepped for it. They may as well. It's their ban. They knew what they wanted to get into with it.
They for sure can. The question is now, are they going to be able to match or better Secret's first half, the defensive half Secret just had? They got the 2 rounds that are necessary to be in a fight, and as they are prepping the winners for potential jump outs if the pressure comes in from that southern side, Secret might have actually heard that with some of their drones and will be able to put some pressure to it. Now, not with an air jab or a Nomad, as you mentioned before, but maybe by dedicating one of them by watching those windows, by watching a potential jump out. And of course, a Valkyrie camera could have been tossed outside and should be aware of it. Question, however, is, has Emission tossed out these black guys? I don't think he has. No, he has not. They're all inside.
All internal. They want to know what they want to do with this fight, and to be honest, it probably leads to the pockets of 3 C4s across the board. They know that they want to put some pressure onto the game here. That, to be fair, if you weren't here the early game, the first 2 maps, they were very good at ensuring that there was a consistent bout of pressure on the boards underneath Secret's feet. They got to make sure it connects more than ever here. 4-2 is that split, that divide, but they take this and suddenly it's so much less daunting. They lose it and it's even worse. The drone army is starting to find its way through. Those will both get caught. I believe it was a mute jammer potentially.
Could that throw
stop them on the door, and there it it is. There, they have the eyes, they have the idea, they have some hidden cameras behind the lights. They'll be a little bit trickier to spot. That blue blink is slightly covered, but Keenan has that read on them as well. Can they just get the catch on this first fight? It is. It's Exodus gone from a grenade to Kafe.
Grenade's playing a very big role in this best of 5 series, and even though there is a Jaeger on the board here, it's the Nitro that finds a response. Packbull does go down. Flairzo, however, has been injured by a grenade himself, and that means there is limited people down on the actual bomb side. We have a mission, a smash below. They need to rotate up. It's just rush right into the bathroom right there that could try and hold them back.
So he's gone for the very long pickup, and they're going to see if they can plant in the meantime. It's a bit of a trade-off, and Kafe and Sleben have a trade of their own. Sprayed over the top. Mission can't quite hit the boards, but it's picked up. Smash with the double over the top, and a late explosion over it. It's low. He goes high. Keenan gets locked in, and Mission is all that's left now. They have both staircases with a little bit of a watch, but they've hopped hot out of the building. They're going to head all the way to the top, and that's the thing about where this diffuser is. You can sort of get the lockdown here from the windows, from the skylight, and from the opposite side. The pings might be there, but the time sure isn't. 20 seconds, and you got to try and force a fight, and they're playing Ring Around the Rosies, and they're going to go even further away, dance and dabble on the doorway, but now it's too little, too late, and, well, that is a secret round. That is their first round. That is a 5-2, and that is an even tougher uphill for the CIS team.
And what we saw Kendrew being very reserved over the last 4 maps, unless they won it. Every single round they win now. He's starting to scream it out. They're starting to believe in the fact that they can actually lock this one off right here, right now. Of course, not a map point yet, not a match point yet. They need another round to be in that position. But it's 2-5. It's a 3-round buffer they currently have with them. And as the bar and the cocktail gets replayed again by the side of HellRaisers, it's Team Secret that has just proven that they're going to be able to successfully attack this once. The question is, can they do it twice?
That frequency with the diffuser today by Secret has been so good. They consistently make sure that they're playing the objectives, whether behind the smoke, that to be fair has been a bit of an on and off cover that they've utilized, and that's why we've had a bit of an on and off story with the Warden throughout the entirety of this best of 5 so far, but every single time they've been on the attack, they've tried to get the diffuser down. They've generally been successful every single map as well, even if it is this sort of do or die situation. They make sure that they're playing that objective, and that just forces this bout of pressure onto HellRaisers on the opposite side, and it's been a little bit hit and miss as whether they've been able to connect with it, and it's another miss.
It's another miss indeed for now. Secret 2-5, leading. Need 2 more rounds to re-enter EUL, or avoid the relegations, however you want to call it. They're basically in tier 1.5 right now. They're on the edge. They could either go back to tier 1 or go down to tier 2, whereas HellRaisers is looking desperately to try and find a way in. And they started off so strong with the first 2 maps. You can see it on the right top of your screen. 7-4, 8-7. And then it was Secret that struck with a 1-7 and a 4-7 right afterwards. Hatches being opened up, the pressure is on. Secret want to go quicker. They want to make sure that they put up the pressure truly onto the side of HellRaisers here and do not give them an opportunity to breathe or to reconvene.
Well, Kafe got in, and he gets back out. He opens up some angles, routes, and rotations for later. This drone game is starting to play against HellRaisers. Secret have massively stepped it up in terms of calling out these pings and players and seeing if they can put the possibility of bullets into them. They're seeing and they're believing as Sleben utilizes a game that, as we so frequently commented on, the sharpness of HellRaisers. Well, here it's being raised right back against them by Secret, and now as they see if they can steady themselves over, there goes Smash, there goes a Jaeger that's been a bit of a bite, and here goes another build.
A man down. HellRaisers. Can you recover from this? Are you going to be able to at least take this side back in your own control? The E1D start popping, and that means that all the information you just gathered on drones stays accurate for a small while. Exodus playing with that Alda on the close angle. He's going to be the big worry. He's going to be the big pressure point. If you manage to get rid of him, that's suddenly a big LMG that you do no longer need to worry about. It's Flairzo as well, in a position, trying to hold a cigar is key. These 2 players, they need to make sure that HellRaisers stay in it. And as the repels are starting to come in, and it's Secret that starts to continue putting up that pressure, is HellRaisers that slowly starts to crumble if they do not turn around these rounds quickly.
Mission, a constant name that's been called out in the favor of the team, is able to get one, get out, and get back in. Exodus takes the head off one, but Packbull with an instant bout of revenge now as they creep their way towards getting the diffuser down once again. There's the spray, Flezo goes down, and now it's a 3 versus 2, but Slevin has the cover, makes it just one rush. Sprays and swings past, gets a drive-by on the first, and the second is into his favor. A 1 versus 1, the pings in the E1Ds. Everybody stop, take a breath, and see if you can find something behind the information. You know the diffuser's close, but it's a ring around the rosies with 30 seconds. They've been able to pull these together before and rush with the slow creep round on the backside as Packbull is all out of this intel drive. Does he know? No, he does not know! And this is Secret, 1 round away from cementing themselves back in Tier 1.
Packbull probably called for complete silence. Nobody speak, nobody breathe. Let me listen for the smallest of shuffles that will be saving us this round. And exactly done so. Heard him, flicked around, got the shot, and it's 2-6. And Secret now in a prime position, in pole position for making it back towards the European League. For a while, it seemed like HellRaisers was going to be making it a quick one, and right now, Secret have turned it all the way around. The reverse sweep is just a single round away, just a single round between them and continuing their EUL story.
6-2. They have 4 opportunities to lock this out. 4 opportunities to cement themselves. And with the story of Secret, it comes down to this. Their last stand, their last battle, and their last bout of a roster, well, that lacked a bit of stability. They found some energy.
They found it for sure.
Can HellRaisers
like it?
That's it. Can they step back in? Can they bring a little bit more of that heat that we saw earlier on? It's a distance that was close and then got wider and wider on the 2 opening there on bar. Down to Kitchen, the first time that we're seeing this on this showdown here on Dostoyevsky. It could be HellRaisers' last, or it could be the first of their own reverse sweep.
You mentioned it before, right? It was what HellRaisers did so well in these first 2 maps that is truly carrying Secret across the finish line here now. That's a very, very high drone that just fell down there. Either way, it is the information game. It is the drones, it's the cameras that seem to be working well here for Secret. And right now they know as well a player in Kojak, probably one in VIP as well, as they're attacking that bottom floor. They have to make an important call. Are we going for the bakery? Are we going for the backside? Are we going from above? There is so many different ways to attack this site, and every single one can work if you play into it well. And that is definitely a great start. Packbull getting Exodus right behind the cupcake bar, and Nitro gets the stab. Will not be able to get anybody, but it's Packbull steps too far back. It is going to be a double kill to come in from the side of the HellRaisers. They're starting to bring it back. It's a 4-on-3 situation now. Make that 2 as the mission picks up yet another. They're looking to start the fight back. It is only up to Keenan and Kendrew now. Both have been on rolls throughout this matchup so far, but they need to do it one more time.
Well, they've tried to flood their way into the site, and for the sacrifice of a sledgehammer, it's now just Kendrew as the last one left. They thought they could get a bit of an early bite here onto the site itself, and they found it, but then they were quickly handed everything else from the side of the Russians. A pop, but a reveal. And that's the cost and the trade-off right now. And there's the second, and it goes into Kendrew's way. He's going to actually pull back, reconfigure, realign, and sort of bait them into saying, well, I'm on the site itself. The ping comes through, and the grenade is just not going to quite catch the player that's been able to bounce themselves back in. He's going to see if he can bat it round. It's caught in the disc. It's another reveal, and the Valkyrie is going to go for the extension. If you wanted 2 players alive to try and fight this back, these are the 2 that you want, Rush and Amision. They're going to see if they can just keep a bit of solidity. There's a lot of time. But unfortunately for their sake, and Kendrew's here, he's going to pop through, get the reveal that nobody's on that close side, and now it's just a matter of seeing if he can work out exactly where they are. They work it out first. There's 1.
Saw the head, but didn't respond to it, didn't register it. And that means that HellRaisers are starting to fight back. They're starting to come back. It's just a single round, but that's also what we said about Secret on Oregon. It's a single round, but it's the first step, and it's their first step to reverse sweep the reverse sweep. As you mentioned before, from 2-6 now to 3-6, the gap is slowing, is closing. but you cannot make a mistake. You cannot afford a single mistake because Team Secret, they will end the game and they will be back and stay in EUL. Montaigne coming out. That's going to be an interesting one.
I mean, it's nothing that we've seen today. It's one of those sort of plays here where I'm curious to see how it gets deployed. It's always the constant question, I suppose, is how is Secret going to build themselves together? Because, to be fair, if we're going to talk about this roster as Secret, they were their sharpest towards the tail end of EUL season. And, to be fair, that's why they weren't the auto-relegated team. It was close. There was only a couple of play days in it. And after a year's worth of play, that is pretty surprising. It's a fight that went pretty much all the way. And here, I suppose, it's these little tricks, these little moments, these little adaptations. They're hoping to apply some tactical pressure and surprise and sort of say, well, you don't know what's coming next. This time it's a Monty. Where is he going to drive from?
That is the big question, and the big worry as well. They don't know it until they hear the clunking from below or from right in front of them. And in that moment, he's already started the inertia. He's already in motion. He's already pushing strong and steadily. And that is something you need to worry about as HellRaisers. Do you have anything in your hands currently that you can try and cancel the Monty with? I mean, you have 2 C4s, that is true. But besides that, no real gadgetry that will stop this Montaigne from pushing in and from just clearing out the hallways as he presses that W button.
All the way to the top is the start of it, as they're going to see if they can slow creep their way. And one of the changes that we've seen so far, as I said, is the build-up of a much better intel and information game from Team Secret's side. And here they've been able to sort of punish HellRaisers at their own hand. There hasn't seemed to be a catch in the opposite way as of yet, but Sleben, he's eyeing up a window that's being punched open. There's more than one player,
yes.
and he's going to see if he can catch it. A little bit too late. You assume it's being called and watched. FlReZer actually, once again, seemingly has all of his cameras internal.
Yeah, that's something I like to do, but this is definitely going to be a very good spot. ADSs, however, I believe that were, or was it a Mutual? I'm not quite sure. Either way, that grenade, yeah, no, ADSs indeed. That grenade will not be sailing through if they want to get it there, so needs a bit of support, and by the time that support arises, of course, there's plenty of time for FlReZer to try and fall back and try and make sure that he's not going to be picked up by that grenade. But in the meantime, Keenan already from the piano starting to open up, and I wonder if they're aware of it. He's going to be able to push soon from the side of the wide hallway. And Kendra, of course, able to do that as well with that Monty. Able to now just start pushing through and truly put up the pressure here on FlReZer.
Well, FlReZer is this back line. He's going to see if he can try and lock down on the sort of anvil on the back side of the hammer that's coming in across. The grenade bounces a bit wide, and Kendra suffers a huge bout of information. The gridlock in the place as they're able to slip past. Sleben just doesn't catch it, but look at this clear. All that utility is gone out of their pockets, out of hand, and no rotation is covered. A well put together pinch, but it's taken 2 minutes, and it's not really caught any of the players on the side of HellRaisers. And these sort of pushes, these sort of takes, when all the HellRaisers players are on the board, usually go against Team Secret. So they've got to see if they can sort of recapitalize and maybe try and put some individual pinches onto the players. There's one in Pillars, you've got one in Train, and it's an extension that costs them. Smash swings round, finds a closed door too, so now he's isolated and stuck, and it's only a moment before one comes either side. There's the hammer above. Can't quite get it. It's Kenny with the shield, and now 40 seconds. Can they drop down?
There's another player down there, no, near the pillars. He's going to be able to come in crucial. Here is Kendra, who wants to go for a plant very soon. It's Exodus with a small rotation he can use to try and stop this Monty from truly pushing in. But he does believe maybe have to defuse it. Yes, he does. Goes to the plants, but it's only up to him and Keenan now. Kendra goes down. It's only up to Keenan in a 1v4 situation. Makes it a 1v3. Needs to find the other kills. Is going to be able to find yet one more. Turns it into a 1v2 again. Knows one is around the brown stairs, but with 9 seconds left, he needs to make a push happen.
Well, he's going to drop down with a pistol. He tries to throw everything at it, but it didn't quite connect. They found themselves a little bit caught out by the spicy play around the pillar. It was the first and the quick revenge, but otherwise that 10 seconds, 15 seconds pulls away from you. It takes away from the actual execute and the push. 2 rounds. They've threaded together now, and 2 more.
Out on top for these last 2 rounds. And as we're heading towards the top floor, bar and cocktail, this is an opportunity for Secret. This is where they need to strike. They've just got briefed by their coach. They just got their last instructions. Are they going to be able to keep themselves in the highest level of siege there is? And after that, of course, go to the close qualifiers and potentially qualify for SI as well. Because that is still on the line for them. That is already off the table for HellRaisers. But of course, both these teams will prioritize this match over the 6 Invitational. Because it is so important. There is no second chances here. Not now. Not in this map anymore.
Back to the bar. One more round, maybe. Or they might have a little bit in it. They always say it's tough to outdrink a Russian. So let's see if they're the ones that keep themselves stood standing at the end of one more trip to the bar, because the last 2 times, it hasn't quite gone their favor. It's been 2 slightly different lockouts from the side of Secret. And I guess they're going to see if they can go back to a little bit of basics. The Lions on the board, they have the Flores for the drone. They sort of expected to find themselves here, and seeing if they can actually put themselves pressure onto there. Steady approach. Slevin concerned of the pops and the peaks that might come through. HellRaisers haven't dabbled too much with this. They've been happy to sort of keep the game internal. The Valk cams, the position and the placement has otherwise been all locked in, but the Valk is off the board. They've instead gone with a little bit more of a solidity in terms of concern and control on the pressure from those hatches in the top, and then the pulse of emission might be that lead-in.
The Caber ready to swing these hatches, ready to go for it. Of course, they're worried about potential C4s to come up, but as they open up, none of them still out of those hatches, and that leaves them in a 5v5 spot. Secret still in a good position to lock this off. As HellRaisers are going to be able to bring it back, to bring it to 6-5. Then they would just need a singular round before they reach the overtime mark. Or is Secret going to be able to lock it off here right now? Keep on mentioning it. It is such a big deal for either of these teams, and as a player from low could be coming in big with a C4 if it gets called out. It's Secret that gets some pings in as well. The Nitro comes in but doesn't deal any damage, but at least that's a piece of utility going from the side of HellRaisers, and Secret doesn't need to worry about it anymore.
It's Emission. Emission with the pulse is the player below, and if he goes unchecked, well, he's just been checked, and Smash is there to offer the cover. The Finker goes down. That is the duel up, the double down, and the lockout of that player that might have tried to pull some solidity back round, and that means they've got to go for a big rethink. Packbull, who we saw putting some quick and early pressure onto Cigar, has had to go for a very major pick back up. They're instead going to see if they can put some pressure on the eastern wing. They've realized that there's so much support on this side. Well, maybe let's try and put a bit of the back out here instead. But Smash, he's still an impression. He's still pertinent. He's still an impression, and he might make it. But Exodus is going to be the next to find the swing through. Gomfy gets Exodus, gets that revenge, and Flezo suffers next. Packbull, he's waiting for the drift, but it's Rush that is otherwise making sure that they keep them guessing. Pre-fires towards the pre-placed. It's pistols at dawn, and it doesn't quite have the connection that it wants, and that's a cold diffuser, which makes things very risky to try and get a bit of a recollection here. 45 seconds, and another E1D as the flash goes out. There's the cover from the top of the stairs that goes into Packbull's way. Tries to swing onto the second, and it's Keenan that gets one more. It's the 2 versus 2. Emission with the pulse is underneath. He's going to try and find a way back round, and it's 2 versus 1. Packbull has driven them so close. There's no C4, but there's 20 seconds, and the chance at just peppering bullets through the floor. There's the play, there's the place, there's the repositioning. They're cautious, they're aware, and they're making sure that this isn't going to be the catch that suffers them. He'll get this stuck down. 10 seconds, and now it's just down to Emission. All of the work, all of the drive, all of what HellRaisers have worked to, and where Emission has been before, and where he wishes so desperately to be once again. It's down to this 2 versus 1 clutch. Up the stairs, the first on the bathroom, the second on the swing on Lumber, finds Lumber, the bathroom finds him. Secret, they haven't truly been stable. They've been rocking back and forth, even today. But for once, they drive it home at the most important part and play themselves back into Tier 1. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Team Secret indeed, and it was not going their way at all at the start of the game when they were 2-0 behind. It seemed like HellRaisers was going to be able to